Hi, it's John. Now, the matter of free will. Now, you can't discuss free will without discussing constraints. It can be argued that even God has constraints, or even the idea of God has constraints. I mean, you've got the ridiculous one about God not being able to lift an unliftable weight, or if he could lift an unliftable weight, he couldn't create a weight that couldn't be lifted. You know, that sort of nonsense. But there are other constraints that can be argued that the idea of God might have. I can't think of them offhand, but maybe someone can fill me in on that. But if we go back to humans, each person is going to have in their mind an idealised self and their actual self. And within that actual self, they would have certain potentials to come near the idealised self. But there again, as the years go by, the idealised self is also going to change. You know, it may come down in expectations, or of course it may rise up in expectations. And as a teenager, the idealised self may seem very, very important, but as one grows older, the ideals that one might have may cease to become may cease to be so important, and one may come to terms with the actual self, who you are, and one's own capabilities. One of the main constraints that a human will have will be the finiteness of a human's life. We are all going to die. We have a certain amount of free will as to how we live that life, whether we live a healthy lifestyle or an unhealthy lifestyle to prolong the life, but we have no free will to live infinitum, to have everlasting human life. Now, the everlasting soul, or the everlasting spirit, or whatever it is, that's a different matter altogether. I won't go into that at this stage. And just as we have free will, whether we lead a healthy lifestyle to prolong our earthly life, so we have free will as how we use our gifts, talents, and our attitudes, whether we conform or don't conform. If we take someone like Ian Brady, one of the Moors murderers who murdered children, quite a number of them I believe, and disposed of their bodies so as they can never be found, he has philosophical mental health problems, but his choices go beyond that. He has chosen not to cooperate with people who are attempting to help in inverted commas. However ill Brady is, I believe that in his heart of hearts he knows that killing children is wrong, and that he should make efforts to reform himself. But his free will, by free will, he has chosen not to. Therefore, I would say that he doesn't deserve anybody's sympathy. So what I say is that we have free will within our constraints. And even an autistic person would have a certain amount of free will within the massive constraints that they have. And a world without constraints would be an impossible world. So a world without constraints isn't even worth considering. So I would say the question is, how much free will have we got? Not, have we got any free will? No one or no possible creature has absolute free will. But there's no doubt in my mind that we have a certain amount of free will. And if one were to say that unless we have absolute free will, we have no free will, then I would say that was an illusion. Because, as argued previously, you couldn't even imagine a God who had absolute free will. Okay, bye for now.